seen it.
Where'd it go
Why
to
don't you
you?
go over there and,
How many have
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20.
Wow.
stay there.
you got?
Hold on.
Whoa, whoa. They burnt just like
Turn
a
around so you
conversation.
can, turn around so you can get your picture taken.
Here, look over here.
There we go.
Here, move over to
There's the
Grandpa.
camera.
There you go.
YouTube or something.
Woo. Oh, it's a good thing that fan wasn't on.
Hey, the Apple Barrel, did you get
Here,
one
me and
on YouTube? I sent you.
That's okay.
Look over the, oh my God, yeah. There's a hole down there.
Look, yeah, it's a scooter.
Oh my.
Fall was short. Turn you loose. Oh, turn you loose. Turn you loose? Yeah. Turn me loose.
I think that's a song too.
Yeah. Hold me tight. That's what there was one way. There was a boy saying at the picnic when they got in a fight, his mom had a hold on him. He's on, turn me loose, and he whispered to him, hold me tight. You get your cussing, boy. Get your cussing on.
Yeah, that's it.
That's not true.
That's cool.
No idea.
Yeah, he's fine. That's good. We can see her. We can see her.
When that was? 16, 17, and 18. My dad was in the logging business, timber. Worked at a big mill over in Emerson. We heard of a man down on the Current River below Van Buren wanting 2 teams to log his sawmill. So he had 2 teams, and him and my oldest brother, and we moved. Took 2 cows and chickens and our stuff on the wagon and camped on the road and moved down to the sawmill. Well, when it was done, we headed back for Shawnee Country. Come back up this creek down here, Mill Creek, runs all the way from Current River to over here by the Horn Schoolhouse. And we come along down here below the road goes below here, and Dad pulled out in the hole of water to let the mules drink. He got out and let them on the tongue and let the reins down, and I was sitting there and we could see the falls. And I was about 7 years old. And my mind run on what, how in the world that water get up on that hill? Couldn't figure that out. After I got 97 years old, I know where it comes from. That heads up way out there where that road takes off to the Peck Ranch, you see. Well, this water, the head of that is, it drains in there. My girl, right here inside this gate where this red gate is, that's where I was born. In a white 2-story house. Yep. Dad had a little old shop over here. He got out and gathered up some lumber and slabs and built onto it, and that's where we lived while they built back.
Rain messed up the road. They don't clean out the tin horns anymore. Let them roll. Catch worse than this right here. Real bad. About to wash the road away.
I don't see a hoof of cattle nowhere.
There was a bunch down here the other day. Here you are.
They get no hurry.
The grass is pretty soft, so you'll probably be out. I'm gonna put that window up so we get flies in there.
What do you think?
I was going to see if that was still on there. Somebody done some branding.
When did that happen?
You still got yours?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Well. Your short chuck's in pretty good shape, ain't it? Yeah.
I'm looking at you.
Keep it going. Come on, CL.
You're not getting the sun. Get around that counter.
Come up here, she wants to get you a good picture. Yeah, I moved the hay rack over here to, I cut those boards where the horses store. Cut those out of the deal over here, the chainsaw the other day. I got it. Drug it over here. A tree fell on it. You're out there at the road, you get a good shot of it.
No wonder the brake was on.
Well,
I'll be able to get a picture down there.
Well, I saw she's gonna.
Yeah, cut out all them pictures.
yeah.
Huh?
GL made this. Gil made this. Guilford.
Huh?
Guilford.
Does he play?
No,
No.
he made this.
I never had played with him.
Oh, okay.
I don't know whether he knows how to play or not.
I forgot how to play. You want these? What color do you want?
Well, let's see how many we got.
I forgot how to play.
Huh?
I forgot how to play. What do you? I forget what you do. You put them like this. What color do you want? How many do we need? 1, 2.
You want the black ones?
I don't care.
Well, they don't make me any difference.
We put them on the
I
same.
ain't got enough out there.
2, 4, 6. Okay, there's enough of these, I think. 2, 4, 6. Okay.
Just follow his lead.
I need 2 black.
Is that all of them? No, I need another row, don't we?
I don't know. Do we? I don't know.
No.
No?
Mm-mm.
No.
No. Okay,
rows.
but I need
Oh, you need some.
That'll do.
First move.
I kind of forgot how this works. Okay. You jump your own man? I don't even
No,
remember.
he just moved it twice.
Move again.
But Grandpa,
Huh?
how did he get here?
Yeah, I didn't mean that. I wanted him to. That's the way I ended it.
You can move 2 spaces?
Huh?
You move 2. 1, 2. All right.
Well, I told you I was crooked, didn't I?
Yeah.
I didn't think you'd catch that.
Almost. I forgot what the point of this game is.
I think if
Do we jump our own
if
person?
it don't snap, we're gonna shoot it.
Can I go like this?
Okay.
No, can I? I thought I was just gonna get.
Oh, that was a good one.
Oh yeah, that was great.
I missed it.
I was setting myself up to be able to
I
jump
thought
him.
I done a silly trick.
Oh, see,
Makes you feel crazy when you see what you've done.
All right, you want to play?
No.
Hey, Ellen,
Oh, did you want to play? I thought you didn't
Yeah.
like this game.
well, you can have them black things. I don't like them.
All right, there's 5, 6. I don't think I like this game too much. Oh, I thought I was setting up. Yeah. All right, you go first. You won. Should just follow his moves. Who is Zeb Jewel?
Huh?
Who is Zeb Jewel?
Deb Brewer,
Zeb.
Gav Brewer.
Zeb.
You know, tell the girls that time you and Mom come to Mountain Grove with a car that didn't have a top on it.
Yeah.
Tell that story. They want to hear that story.
Never did know.
Well, the first time you ever come to Mountain Grove, how'd you come?
We're coming that old car with nothing to top on
Well, let's tell the whole story. I forgot how it goes.
it. It is raining.
There was no top.
No top.
What kind of car was it, Dad?
Huh?
What kind of car was it?
Model T.
A Model T. And a rag top?
26 model with no top.
Well, how
And
come?
it was a see, I think me and Charlie and Marcella and me and Mom and Sib Jewell, a neighbor boy, had read in the paper about a motorcycle up north of west of Mountain View for sale, and he wanted to ride up with us. And we let him ride up with us. And like I said, there's raining. And working, when we was working, we was shoveling gravel over in the river bottom up in trucks with scoop shovels. The next morning, it was still raining.
But Dad,
But we thought we ought to go on over there. It might clear off me needing to work. Well, we went over there.
tell though, when you come to Mountain Grove, you and Mom and Charlie and Marcel, you let him off down there at the Trask Road, coming between Mountain View and Willow Springs. The day you come up, right? He got out of the vehicle and walked the rest of the way to buy the motorcycle.
He done what?
You let him out along the
Oh,
highway.
yeah, on the way back.
No, on the way going. You let him out to go buy the motorcycle. Right?
Well, anyhow, we let him out. Trask.
Yeah.
That old place by the name of Trask.
What we come up through yesterday.
We let him off, and what I started to tell you, we live about 7 or 8 miles from town, and next morning it's still raining, but we thought it might clear off. There's gravel on roads, we were shoveling gravel for the truck. We wasn't pushing button, it was a scoop show.
Oh.
And we stand there in the garage door window, or garage door, there's a garage.
This was an
Waiting for it
ambulance.
to quit raining, it's pouring right down, and all of a sudden, some up there, and there was Sim on his motorcycle, just as wet as a drought. Yeah, boy. Bottom of them feet, and
Yeah.
that lady was showing me that she'd pulled up on, and then once you want to set it back down so it wouldn't fall over, that rod would go on the ground by the, got a place you can put your foot and just shove it down there.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
You never made that with your shovels.
Huh?
You never made those with your old shovels.
With my shovel?
Yeah.
No,
He needed the shovels.
never dreamed of such. The old scoop shovel and the old crosscut saw and the old broad axe and that stuff that they worked hard with to make a living, it's all gone now. Chainsaws.
Well, now, Dad, you used to haul gravel when they was making that road going to Ellington, didn't you, with your team and the horses?
Haul gravel for 'em.
Out of the Current River up when they was making
Oh,
that?
yeah, out on 106.
How did that work? Who all was working on
We,
it?
we were shoveled up, loaded it out with shovels, and we got $1 a yard. And as a new highway, and they was putting gravel on. We shoved it down the gravel bars in the river bottom.
Did they have a front end loader down there, or did you use a shovel, or what?
Huh?
What did you use to load up your wagon and
We
team?
made a shovel like this, like one of them.
Was that a number 8 shovel?
Huh?
What size shovel was it? Number 8?
Well, it was a scoop shovel, gravel shovel. It wasn't flat in the bottom like them, it's more rounded, but it was big.
Could you haul a full yard on your wagon and team?
Huh?
Could you haul a yard of gravel on yours?
A whole what?
How much could you haul on your wagon?
Oh, I just had to, they measured we had dump boards we could just dump them. And they measured mine out and it only measured for 3/4 of a yard.
Oh,
I got
75.
75 cents a load.
Oh.
They paid $1 a yard. And it had, on this hill we climbed, the Powder Mill Hill, it had 3 steep places and then a flat place. And at the foot of each one of these flat places, there'd be a man standing there with a team, and you pull up there and he'd hook on the front of your
Team.
tongue on it and help you over that steep place. Well, they had 3 steep places to pull, and they had 3 teams, snap team. And I had some neighbors that had some big old horses. They's hauling a yard a lot. And they get up, put it on them hill, and the snap team wasn't there. They's rough on them old horses. He'd run out in the brush and get him a club and jump that guy on. Come here, Prince. Them old horses run up over that steep place, that yard of gravel. Ferguson boys. Load them on these flat cars. And the houses was built 2 rooms. They built them to move them. And underneath them they had sills about that bigger square. And then it was built on top of that. And it was braced to where it hooked 4 mules on each end of it. And they laid the skids here and then up on the flat cars. They wasn't over this high. And they'd pour oil on them skids and then they'd have a block and tackle at each end and hook it onto the house. And then through that, the teams would be mules would be coming this way and the house would be going this way.
Oh.
And it come to the skids of the house and it shut her up on there.
Wow.
Unloaded. And when they get ready to move, Mom had a safe in the kitchen that had glass doors, a china closet. She'd always just lay some quilts down and lay it face down. put her dishes in a tub and you're ready to load.
And did you move your chickens and your cattle and all?
Yeah, we had, wherever we went, we took two cows and some chickens. We had our milk and butter. A big part of our living. And it my job to
eggs.
drive them old cows from one camp to another.
Oh.
He was pretty much the good old gags, same as the other boys. And he said, we've got an old Rhode Island red rooster. See, we'd catch them, put them in coops and all. And he said, we moved him so much that when he hears us talking about moving, he'd lay down and cross his legs so you could tie him.
Oh. That's pretty good.
Never done that. Put him in a coop.
Dad, now, did you always live in a cabin or did you live in a tent some?
Well, when I was working for the company, we lived in them families. They would put two of these houses together, put you a walkway between them. But just a couple, it'd just be a two-room house. They just two-room houses. Yeah.
Well, what happened though? If
When Dad decided to had some teams, and Hubert, my oldest brother, could drive one. And they could do better contracting hauling loads than they could have driving for the company. So he bought two teams and wagons, but when he did, he had to get out of the company houses. And he bought a couple of tents.
Oh. How many rooms?
Each one of them had one room.
Oh.
And then, that's when you had some kind of fever, wasn't it? Was that when you had some type of a fever, you and Burl?
Yeah, me and Burl both had typhoid fever when we was in them tents. Yeah, the old things that get wet, they wouldn't leak and drop, but if they stay dry for some time and then a hard rain come, it wouldn't just pour in, it would just mist in till it got soaked up and
And it sealed up.
well, man Hammond's in the bed with a typhoid fever. And we had an old neighbor lady, I've heard my mom tell it, the name of Mary Shedd, lived close by. And she said, hadn't been for Mary Shedd, I don't know whether we'd have pulled us through or not. She'd come over every night. Neighbors.
Well, did you go to school in those camps too?
Yeah, we went to the country school. That was our first school. And then a regular country school there. And we was close enough the kids went to the camp. And I talked to the teacher in later years after marriage. And as for she was married, a farm girl lived not far away. And she told me in later years, she said, why, we'd be talking about it. She said, you know, the director didn't tell me anything when they hired me about the camp kids would be a-coming, just the country. And she said the first morning of school, you kids come and poured in there. She shook her head. She said, I thought, what in the world will I ever do? But then she went to life and she said I didn't have a bit of trouble. And it was up, the schoolhouse was up on a hill, gravel road. And the carpenters, when they built the schoolhouse, they had it up like this. And then they had a rack under there with a big long ladder for fire. And we had snows in them days, big snows. And like I said, it was on a pretty steep hill, and the boys got that ladder out and sharpened one end of the runners to make a sled. We'd drag it out there in the road, and all that get on it could get on it and turn around. Maybe we'd get halfway down the hill and take the ditch. She said, no wonder we hadn't got killed. Ruby Reinhardt
That's the teacher.
was her teacher, and she married the old doctor's boy, a pharmacist in Eminence. And I visited with her different times. Yeah. did I go up by there, but it seemed to me like they had moved that schoolhouse off of that hill down in the valley. I don't know whether they did or not. That was on the Current River, not far from the river. And they'd have fish, we'd have fish fries. Came in every so often they'd want a fish fry. And the seine that they seine them out with was legal at that time, which it ain't now. It might be with certain nights. But boy, it wasn't no trouble to have fish. They was in
You got fish back then, didn't you?
seine them out on that gravel bar, them to kicking in the flopping. Biggins.
Bass.
They take it this hole.
All kinds.
And the seine was, I don't know how many feet long. And drag her up through there. And some would stay behind it and keep it down and hung fasten it off of snags and things. They'd land her up on the gravel bar.
Like how many fish?
Fish, it starts scaling and frying and eating. Apple pie and all that stuff. They went with
The good stuff.
the good stuff. Yeah. No, the old house had upstairs. It had a stairway here, and they had this stairway blacked off with a door in it. You could open it and for punishment, he put me and old Charlie in there. He called it the dungeon. He shut the door. And the folks said where he stayed on the lower end of the creek, well, it was Charlie's family. Charlie's mother was little relation to this teacher, I don't know what. And he told them, and he hadn't kind of forgot me and Charlie, and he got scared, afraid we might have smothered. He come open the door and let us out.
How come you were in the dungeon?
Oh, I don't know, something we'd done. Smoking it. No, Lynn Breeden has another one that stayed at Swaney's. He whipped us with a hickory like whipping a mule for smoking. And we wasn't even on the school ground.
But you was on lunch hour.
It was lunch hour.
Huh?
It was lunch hour.
The boys, the Laura family, they lived quite a ways. They rode horses part of the time. And over across the road from the schoolhouse was a bunch of cedars. They fixed them some troughs over there to feed their horses. And I'd go there with them at noon to go feed their horses and we'd smoke. We was off the school ground. And a woman, a girl was going to school there, the mail carrier down here at the forks of the road. Right here was a buggy axle drove in the ground with the wheel on it, still on it. And they had floored that wheel, and there was enough housing back here in the country that it filled it full. It was just full of wheels. They just spin it around, the mail carrier would, and put mail in it. She comes down there to mail a letter. And she knew what we was doing, and she told the teacher.
Oh.
And he come over.
Nope.
We heard him a-coming. There was a big porphyry rock there, bluff. Me and Charlie go down on that bluff to hide. We thought it was his brother Horace coming. He come over too. And we'd have been all right if we'd have stayed down. But we thought it was his brother, and we raised up, and there stood the teacher looking us right in the face. Oh. He said, "You boys just well to pad up." That's all he said. Well, it's cold weather. We took it for granted. We had our overall, our coats under our overall. And we took it for granted that he meant for us to get ready. And we put our coats under our overall. Our books stuck on it. We had outdoor bathrooms. when the school took up, books took up, he said, you boys go down to the toilet and take the coats out from under your overalls. Well, we didn't have more sense than to go, but we talked about it. Like the geese was eating the fodder, we talked about it. And I said, well, Charlie, I don't know about this deal. We get one whooping here, and if I go home, I'll get a good one. Come back, that'll be two. This way, we might get away with one. He said the same with me, so we went ahead. Boy, he whipped us. He sent somebody down in the woods as our coast and cut some big old hickories.
Did you just get one good whooping?
Huh?
Just one good whooping?
Yeah, that was enough.
It was enough, huh?
Didn't take another.
But your mom and dad didn't find out.
Yeah.
Oh.
I know the girls would tell it before their dress tails could touch them when they got home. And they did. And we was eating supper, I'll never forget it. My dad had blue eyes. And they told a story. And he looked right at me. He said, son, if you ever run off from a teacher at school, I don't know what you'll do when you get back, but you'll get a good one on this end. I said, Dad, that's just exactly why we didn't come. He just grinned. Guilford.
No, Milford. You said Milford.
Huh?
You said they call you Milford? Milford.
No. Well,
You just said.
I said it.
Milford. You said they called you Milford.
Oh, yeah. Fred called me
Yeah.
Milford.
So you called Milford, Charles,
Oh,
and Buster.
yeah.
All those names.
Well,
Now that's your given name.
that George, that's what I went by.
And why is that?
Huh?
Why? Why do they call you Buster?
Why is that?
Yeah.
I thought I told you that story.
Did you?
Yeah. Put your book up. I don't need a pencil. My mom told me when I was born, which is the year 11, 10, 13, and 11 to be exact, right up on the hill. Back in those days, they didn't call a doctor every time you got the bellyache. And for childbirth, they had what, midwives. Do you know what a midwife is?
Yes.
Okay. My mom told me, I was born right up there in that two-story white house, and there was two midwives there that night. They had their scales with them. They weighed them. And when I was born, they hooked me onto the scales and hung me up. And when they got done, she said, what did it say? It said 12. I weighed 12 pounds. And one of the midwives said to the other one, boy, he's a Buster. And it's been Buster for 97 years. That's where I got my name.
You were really 12 pounds.
Huh?
And you were really 12 pounds. 12 pounds.
Huh?
12 pounds.
Get your pencil.
That's unbelievable. 12 pounds.
Yes, 12 pounds, yeah.
That doesn't...
That's big.
Yeah.
8's big.
That's huge.
12's bigger. She said I weighed 12 pounds.
You were the biggest of all the...
Oh, I no doubt I was.
Whew.
I don't know how come or anything about it.
Whew.
That's all.